Hey guys, it's Bea. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video we're gonna do another K-drama review. So the series that we're gonna talk about is Penthouse 2. So if you don't know what Penthouse is about, if you don't know what that K-drama is, if you've never seen it, never heard of it, I suggest you watch my other Penthouse video. It's about the first season of the Korean drama. The two stories are related to each other. Penthouse 2 is a continuation of the story from season 1. Penthouse 2, I ended up watching it. I was actually on the fence if I should watch it or not. During the end of the first season, I actually didn't watch it right away. I was reading updates from Twitter week after week to sort of check what's going on, and I'm just looking for a reason or something that happens in the drama that will make me want to watch it again. And eventually during the latter part of the series, I do get that reason to start watching again. And yeah, I ended up finishing the second season. It was really interesting to watch it with knowing the spoilers and all. You know what? It's really interesting because even though I knew what was gonna happen, everything was still interesting. Everything was still entertaining to watch. I guess the script, the characters, the actors acting out those characters were all really entertaining. The way they executed the scenes or the events that transpired was still really entertaining for me. So even though I knew what was gonna happen, it really didn't reduce the fun from watching the series. So the first couple of episodes of season 2 were really painful to watch, mainly because of all the evilness going on, the bullying, and in general the villains still living their best life during the first few episodes of the show. During the latter part, we do see some justices being enacted a little bit all over the place. So that did sort of help me go back to really watching the show as opposed to just reading updates off from Twitter and watching the snippets of scenes there. But don't get me wrong, Penthouse 2 is still filled with all these twists and turns each episode. So it was really still very entertaining to watch. But as I mentioned during my season 1 review, the surprises and all the plot twists can be something that you sort of expect over time if it's something that the writer uses all the time. So for the second season, I felt like the characters of the show were just out for him or herself, or probably their family, but mostly for him or herself. And because of that, we see a lot of new team ups in the show, sort of old foes have become allies, and sort of old allies become their new enemies, things like that. So it's really interesting to watch. A lot of funny, entertaining things because of that. But sometimes it's kind of weird as well because of all the things that happen between all of these characters, and to know that suddenly they're teaming up with each other or suddenly they're friends, something like that. So it was really weird sometimes. Although the team ups do make sense based on the events that happen in the show and in the grander scheme of the entire show. So yeah, I guess I can accept the team ups that are happening. I'd also want to mention some very good acting moments or scenes in the show. I won't be specific in terms of the scene because that would be spoiler for you guys, but in terms of who's involved in this scene, I'll just mention that. The first one is the scene from Jenny and her mom for their character arc in this show. Really a lot of impactful scenes from them, I feel. And then we also have some scenes from Yoonhee. Could I say that it's a character arc? Not really, but so something happens in the second season and is a really impactful scene from Yoonhee, so I really enjoyed her acting moment there. I always love watching Seokyoung when she's in the screen. She's really she's really like entertaining as a villain, although like her bullying was really hard to tolerate because of course the bullying thing that she's doing isn't right, but she was a really sort of good matchup against Chun Seo-jin because Chun Seo-jin is sort of involved already with Ju Dan-tae and things like that, so we see them sort of have some tensions throughout the second season, so it's really entertaining to see this teenager match up with Chun Seo-jin. So I was actually hoping to like Rona in this season, but I still don't like her. I don't know, she's so hard to like. I guess she's a little bit selfless now, and I guess her like motivation right now isn't herself anymore, but she's still irritating because she's really stubborn, she doesn't listen to her parents. A lot of things could have had not happened if she only like listened to her mom. So yeah, let's leave it at that. So should you still watch Penthouse 2? For continuity's sake, yes. If you're expecting it to match up to the first Penthouse or be better than the first one, it isn't. I mean, it's still entertaining to watch and it still had a really good ratings from like the Korean general public. So yeah, it's still a very entertaining show. I feel like for shows like Penthouse, you need to accept the things that are happening in the drama, or like you need to accept what kind of drama it is. You need to accept the roller coaster ride. You need to accept the weirdness that, or like the weird coincidences that happen all throughout the show. And yeah, you just have to be like game to be like going along for the ride and things like that to really enjoy the show. So yeah, I mean, if you're like open to that, definitely still watch the second season. It's still a really entertaining show to watch. If you're hoping for it to be more like character development and really like showing justice towards like the evil people, villainous people, all that morality stuff, this isn't really the kind of show for that. This is like a makjang Korean drama that is over the top, and it's just like purely for entertainment. So yeah, that's it for like the spoiler-free version of this review. The next part would be like spoiler talk, discussion, if you're still game to watch that. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. But if you still haven't seen the show and you don't want to be spoiled about anything that is going to happen for the second season, thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any comments or questions about Penthouse 2, or if you just want to rant about the things that happened or transpired during the whole Penthouse series, just feel free to put them down all on the comment section below. And if you like this video, feel free to click the like button. And if you want to be updated for my future uploads, feel free to subscribe to my channel. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! So yeah, of course they come up with a crazy coincidence for Shim So-ryun to still be alive. But you know, I'm still glad that she's alive because I really liked her character. Might as well have her alive than dead, you know? Honestly, after watching The Last Empress, which is also a work of the writer who is working on Penthouse, I'm already used to all these resurrections or like fake deaths. And like even with the whole thing that happened to Rana, I was really not surprised that she survived. I mean, like I mentioned, that emotional scene from Yoonhee when she thought that her daughter was dead was really, really impactful. But still, I mean, it wasn't a surprise for me to see that Rana found a way to survive. Although it was kind of weird because from what I understand, she already lost oxygen, or like her heart stopped beating, and then she was just like CPR'd into living again or surviving. which I found really weird because as far as I know, when that happens, when you don't get oxygen in the brain for like a really long time, aren't you supposed to be, you know, brain dead or something? But yeah, I don't know, I'm not a medical expert, but I don't know, I feel like that doesn't really make sense. But of course, a lot of things don't make sense in this show. I mean, Rana even got hit on the head by that trophy, and you know, not much brain damage or anything. I mean, that's Korean drama for you. So like Logan Lee dying at the end of season 2 was really, I don't know, I think they still needed some death shock factor at the end to like top the whole season off. And I guess, of course, in some ways I'm surprised, but at the same time, it wasn't as devastating as seeing Shim Soo-ryun dead during the first season. Logan Lee for this season 2 wasn't that much present, unlike his presence in season 1. I wasn't really sad about the whole Logan Lee thing. I wasn't that much fan of the ship between Logan Lee and Shim Soo-ryun. I really found it weird because he's Sola's adoptive brother and Soo-ryun is Sola's mom. So it was just weird to see them having romance on screen. So I'm kind of glad if he died that thing didn't happen, because it was really a weird ship for me. I'm actually more invested in the like Yoonhee, Yoonchul, Sojin love triangle. I think that one I'm going to see more scenes from. Also the Seokhoon and Rana ship, I'm still very much game for that, even though I don't really like Rana as a character that much. I feel like a lot of the things that happened throughout the second season of Penthouse were like sort of like filler episodes, filler arcs, like the whole bullying arc, the whole Chon Seo-jin hiring Yoonhee as a ghost like vocalist. I mean, all of these things were just filler up until the latter half, when Shim Soo-ryun finally is alive again and sort of exacting her plan for revenge against Joo Dante, or like her way to get back at him and like show him, tada, I'm still alive, you didn't get me, and I'm gonna send you guys to jail, things like that. So yeah, I feel like all those stuff were just like padding, filler, just to like stuff up this whole Penthouse series. So yeah, I feel like a lot of the things that happened in season 2 were really unnecessary, but yeah, they were still entertaining to watch. Like Chon Seo-jin losing her voice from all that screaming that she did all throughout the season. So hopes and dreams for the third arc of Penthouse. First of all, Joo Dante, I hope we get more of his backstory, like what made him into the villain that he is all throughout the Penthouse series, because the guy clearly has like issues and all that stuff. Also, his like obsession with the whole Joo Dante village dream of his and like that vision. I remember during the latter part of the second season, he mentioned about building it in the place where his mother died, or where his mother was buried, or something like that. It was during his conversation with Na-egyo, and when they were like talking about his plans and all that stuff. I hope we get more from the twins. I really enjoyed watching them. Not necessarily like scenes together. It's also fun like seeing them on their own and doing their own stuff. Hopefully no more scenes of Seokkyung being a bully, since she's living with her mother now, and you know, hopefully Shim Soo-ryun would be really a good guidance for her, because you know, during the first part of season 2 she was really being mean. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this season 2 discussion and like a little bit of season 3. As far as I know, season 3 is coming out really soon, as per like the note during the ending of season 2. I'm not really expecting to wait super long for the third arc. So yeah, that's it for this video.